Hello, boys and girls. I'd first like to start by apologizing. I've been super busy this week, and I realized that I left you hanging on the last chapter of Magic on the Map. But since you know it's a series, you probably figured that they're gonna get home somehow. And when we left off, they had done the square dance, and then they were running across the field, ready to see if they could find the camper. All right, so the last chapter is called Home Sweet Home, Chapter 11. Pet was parked on the grass on the other side of the trees. It was as if the camper had been waiting for them all along. The screen was lit up when the twins climbed in. "Fasten your seatbelts, kids," Pet said. "We're leaving in 3, 2, wait," Finn said, fumbling with his seatbelt. The instant it clicked, the camper took off. The mountains, the prairies, the rivers flew by in the window like a blur. "We're headed home, right?" Molly asked. Before Pet answered, it stopped with a jolt. Out the windows, the twins could see their white house, the hunter green mailbox, the Johnny jump-ups in the window boxes. Their home was at 24 Birchwood Drive, had never looked so good. "My work here is done," Pet said. And then it went dark. She went dark again. "Holy guacamole," Finn said. "Can you believe that this happened?" "I know, I can't," said Molly. "But we don't have time to talk right now. We have to let Mom and Dad know that we're home safe." She and Finn unbuckled their seatbelts and they headed for the door. Out of the corner of his eye, Finn spotted the map of the world with its one lone pushpin stuck in Harvey Falls, Ohio. "Hang on," he told his sister. He picked up the blue pushpin and he stuck it smack dab in the center of Colorado. "All right," he said, "let's go." They ran into the house calling, "Mom, Dad, we're here." Mrs. Parker walked into the foyer, which is like the entryway, and she was wearing a sundress. She looked very relaxed for someone whose kids had been missing for a whole day. "There's no need to shout," she told the twins. Are you hungry?" Finn and Molly looked at each other, knowing that they were thinking the exact same thing. They both shrugged. "I guess," they said. "Well, good. Your dad says omelets will be ready in 5 minutes." They walked into the kitchen and their legs were feeling funny, almost like they were still riding horses. Mr. Parker was at the stove adding diced ham and peppers to the pan. "Well, hello, you sleepyheads," he said, turning around and greeting them. "We thought you'd never wake up." "But Dad, we've been up for hours," said Molly. "Look at..." She stopped herself. She was about to say, "Look at our clothes," but when she looked at Finn, she realized that they were no longer dressed for the cattle drive. Finn was wearing his pajamas, and she was back in her leggings and fuzzy bunny slippers. When had they changed out of their clothes? What happened to their boots and cowboy hats? "Take a seat," her father said. "Omelets are coming right up." Molly and Finn shared a startled look. "Did he say..." "Oh, wait," he said, "I gotta go back." "Take a seat," his father said. "Denver omelets coming right up." Molly looked startled. "Did he say Denver? As in the capital of Colorado?" They sat down at the table. "We need to eat fast," Mr. Parker said. "We don't want to be late for the game." "But my game's on Saturday," Finn said. "Every week," Mr. Parker said. "We have to get a move on." "Wait a sec," Molly said. "What day is today?" "Saturday, silly," the dad said. Yesterday was Friday and school ended. Have you forgotten your days of the week already?" The twins looked at each other. Without speaking, they knew that they were thinking the exact same thing. It had been a dream after all. Mr. Parker set the plates in front of Molly and Finn, and they all sat down to a normal Saturday breakfast. Mrs. Parker added a splash of milk to her coffee mug, but before she took a sip, she paused to pick a piece of yellow hay from Molly's hair. "It looks like you've been rolling around in a barn in your sleep," she said. Molly looked at Finn and then back at her parents. "Hey, Dad, about the camper, ... Hang on. Lost my place. And that's actually where it ends. So she says, "Hey, Dad, about the camper. Do you think they're going to tell Dad to sell it?" I doubt it, don't you? So then at the end, so that's the end of the book. It just ends just like that, so you don't really know what's going to happen. Then it has some cool facts about the state of Colorado, that it's bordered by Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Utah. Just about some different things. And then it has Pet's favorite fact. Rumor has it that millions of dollars worth of treasure is buried somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. Maybe Molly and Finn's horses galloped right past it. Then you keep turning, and it has a nice little map of Colorado at the end. Shows all those places, the capital of Denver, and then it has the abbreviations on the sides for all the states that are hooked onto it. And then, the coolest thing, it has Finn and Molly's work here is done, but the adventures are just beginning. Don't miss Magic on the Map. The next mission, the show must go on. And then it has a little preview, which is to tell you about the next book. So it says, Pet's dashboard screen lit up every color of the rainbow. Molly and Finn grabbed onto their armrests tightly. Even when you're excited about something, you can still be afraid. The camper started to hum, and then it started to shake. There was a near blinding flash of white light, and they were off. Molly squeezed her eyes shut, but she opened them when Finn said, "Hey, look!" A flock of birds with royal blue and reddish brown feathers flew by the windshield. "Oh, those are eastern bluebirds," Molly said. Aren't they beautiful?" They sailed over the trio of waterfalls, fields of green and trees. "I think those are apple trees," Molly cried. "Look over there, there's the ocean," Finn. "Is that the ocean?" Finn asked. "Wow, I think so." "Cool." Pretty soon the ocean wasn't in sight anymore. All they saw were buildings and even more buildings. And then the camper landed with a jolt. Molly knew exactly what Pet was going to say before she said it. "I'll be back when your work here is done." With that, the screen went blank, and the camper doors swung open, and Molly and Finn quickly undid their seatbelts and jumped out onto the asphalt. "Where are we?" Finn asked. Molly looked around. They were standing in an alley, which is like the space between two buildings, in the shadows of two tall buildings. It tells you right there. In the distance, there was a muffled sound of tires screeching and horns honking. When Molly turned towards the camper again, it had disappeared. She looked at Finn. Finn, you're not going to like this." She pointed to something on her brother's shirt. This is the funny part. Finn felt his heart beat a little faster as he looked down. Gone were his plaid pajama pants, and in their place were blue jeans and a white and navy pinstripe baseball jersey. "Are you okay?" Molly asked. "I'm a traitor, that's what I am," said Finn. He turned around. "What's on my back?" he said. "The number 2, Molly said. And then over it, it says Jeter. "Ugh," Finn said. "Jeter, one of the best shortstops in the history and a 5-time World Series champion. He played 20 years for the Yankees." "The Yankees?" Molly asked. She heard the team name before. Finn had definitely talked about them. They were a good team, but where were they from? And I bet a lot of you baseball buffs know where they're from because they're a big rival of the Boston Red Sox. And then on the next page it says, "Can you guess where Finn and Molly are?" And then upside down, I'm not going to tell you what it says, you can read it. Upside down, it says where they're going. So, let me show you what the cover looks like. Here's the first one that we just finished, and then that's what the next one looks like. And she's written more. I have forgotten what the titles of them are right now, but if you're looking for some summer reading, especially, it sounds like they might be going to a baseball game. So anybody who likes baseball, that might be, since we can't really play it right now, it might be fun to check that out. So I hope you liked the series, and I'm so sorry that I left you hanging for so long on that last chapter. It's just been a busy week for me. I will talk to you guys later, and see ya.